The beginning part of this video is incredibly important, and I want you guys to watch it. But I really want you to watch till towards the end of the video, because I cover a certain aspect of this silly conspiracy going around that has one giant hole to it. You're not going to want to miss this. It's the most glaring problem with this conspiracy. So just watch till it's not even like all the way at the end of the video, but it's later on in the video. All right. So just watch. Trust me. Trust me. You're going to want to watch this. Believe it or not, there's actually a conspiracy theory that says that Charlie KIRK is still alive. And the proof for this conspiracy is that there was no blood. Blood should have been everywhere when he was shot. It should have been all over everything they see. It should have been all over everybody that was close to him. There should have been blood everywhere. There's no blood to be seen. Whoever recommended me to Paramount Tactical, good looking out. I haven't watched all of Gary's content here. I've only seen this video, basically. But thank God that there is somebody else who's at least trying to be logical with this and not just drawing conclusions based off of silly stuff. So we're going to go ahead. I'm not going to play this whole video. In fact, what I'm going to do is tell you guys to go watch this video, and I'm going to put a link down in the description. We're just going to watch a few snippets, right? And then I also want to get into Candace put out a new video again today, and now she's finally pushing the 30-06 couldn't have been used, as if we haven't been over this 1,000 fucking times already. So we're going to take a look at what Candace is saying, which she also confirms, as if we needed Candace Owens to confirm that Charlie was in fact shot from the front. Anybody with half a brain realized that the day that we seen the video moments after it happened, that he was shot from the front. There's multiple people in that crowd. You can see them. Generally, in a situation like that, people's responses in that moment tell you everything you need to know. And a crap load of them that were standing in front of Charlie looked back to their right. Anyway, we'll get into that, and I'll probably go off on a tangent on something else. Let's start the video here.
YouTube's not going to like them using fake blood for training purposes. All right, so we're going to start this training scenario. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to dump this blood all over the ground and everywhere else. You guys see.
Okay, obviously what he's doing here is simulating what we saw in that video when Charlie was shot, which is that immediate, right? So this is just to simulate that, to give you an idea of what's going to be happening with the blood as it's doing that.
How much of this fake blood, and this fake blood, folks.
And I know anybody watching I don't have to explain that to you. I know you guys are smart, but I'm just in case, you know, somebody new is coming in and they're coming from the other side.
By the way, it's actually worse than real blood. It will stain your hands. It gets on stuff, all the other. All right, so we did that. Now we're going to bring you around over here. Again, you can see that was a lot of blood. There's some on the table. There's some down here. It was a lot of blood. But when you have blood on the ground, it's actually pretty hard to see. All right, so here's our wound packing.
Okay, so he just wanted to demonstrate what we should at least expect to see on that scene after Charlie KIRK has been shot and he falls over. Now he's going to show us basically he's going to describe what it is that his security team is doing while they're on the ground and we can't really see what's going on. He breaks this down to a fucking T. Like if you go to that Valhalla VFT video and look at what him and I think it was Alex or something, listen to what they're saying is going on and how it's not possible. And that's not I'm pretty sure that guy was a combat medic, maybe. If I remember right. How can he be so wrong about something? And then you have somebody like Gary who demonstrates almost like identically to what we see in that video of Charlie KIRK's security team. It boggles my mind how different opinions can be, kind of coming from the same source. You know what I mean? Like they're not the same people, but they have the same experiences, right? They have the same training, right? How can one be so wrong and one demonstrate almost identically what we see?
drainer, all right? And kind of approximate of where Charlie was in relation to the table and everything else, right? So
I'm going to skip ahead of this. So he's just
Powerball.
Okay. So basically what he's simulating is Charlie has just hit the ground. His security team rushes in and he immediately starts packing that wound with gauze to stop the bleeding. Okay. Another thing, he didn't really touch on this, but from my understanding, and I could be wrong, I don't know. This is just what I've read and what I've heard, is that if Charlie's heart had stopped, what we see coming out is just the blood that was that was on its way up and it came out, right? So if his heart stopped, there's nothing pumping that blood. So there's no pressure to be forcing blood coming out anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not seeping out, but like I said, I could be wrong. That's just what I've read. And I don't know with 100% certainty if his heart stopped right then and there or not.
All of this gauze, or
so we're going to skip
this
ahead.
Right here.
Gets
Training
the wound
partner
packed. Okay, now what he's going to demonstrate is what you
question. I'm
do
going to show you. So now what we're
after
going to do,
you get the
set
wound
this
packed.
off to the side, and my wound packed right there. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up pulling out a pressure bandage. We want to make sure that we're maintaining pressure. If I have somebody else helping me, which they obviously did, I can either have them open this package for me, or they can maintain pressure. All right, and we're going to pull this out. This is one of my favorite. Take his arm.
Okay.
Melissa's.
Notice how he moves his arm up. Okay, that's important. As soon as he gets that, as soon as you get that tightened up.
And then I'm going to take his arm and pull it down. And that's going to greatly increase. Jackson, how much did that increase the pressure? Yep. So again, it's holding that in place.
I'm going to skip ahead. I don't want to show too much of this. I really want you guys to go watch this video because I still see this all over the place of how there should have been way more blood. Okay, now he's going to show the video of what the security team actually did.
I showed you. We're going to rewatch this footage, and I want you to reanalyze it through that prism. But let's go ahead and watch this. All right, so first of all, clearly, and this is, slow motion, right? So, but clearly there is panic in.
So pay attention to this guy right here. This is important, and I'm actually going to, at some point in this video, I'm going to put some pictures up, which clearly show that people have blood on them. They have Charlie's blood on them, 100%. And I'm also going to show the video again where you see them carrying Charlie to the SUV, and Charlie's arm is just coated. You can even see it kind of up in the shirt area. So let's
their actions. They're moving quickly.
Gary nails this.
It's exactly what I would expect to see. All right, so we have the guy with gray hair right now. This is where he supposedly hands something off, but I want you to pay attention because he doesn't really hand anything off. So this guy grabs his hand, but you can clearly see.
Yeah, and Gary doesn't speculate on what's happening there. I'm going to speculate, and I'm going to assume that this guy came this way to see what he could help with, and this guy with the gray hair basically is pointing to him saying, you know what I mean? Go secure the lane so we have a lane to carry him to. Go get the car ready. Go make sure that I'm sure he's telling him, we're good here. Go do whatever.
I'll
speculate. I don't care.
I don't know.
But he's not handing anything off. That was like the amount of,
he doesn't take anything.
The amount of kooky conspiracies we've had to deal with is absolutely insane. Now he goes, if you want to watch the YouTube video, there is a part of this video where he shows somebody actually doing this on a person who has a neck wound. He had to take it off the YouTube video. If you want, go check out his Rumble, Paramount Tactical. He shows the entire video there unedited. All right, now that we're done with Paramount Tactical's video, let's head on over to Candace and see what Candace has to say.
Now, I can tell you the part that he is telling the truth about is that Charlie's neck indeed did stop the bullet without question. Okay. And this is going to dispel a lot of theories that are out there. And I'm telling you this 100%.
I don't know why we need this from Candace. I don't know what type of authority Candace is on this situation. Pretty sure, was it Andrew? I forget how to say his last name. Pretty sure he came out and told us that the surgeon told him that it stopped the bullet. But we need Candace to confirm it. Candace is the authority on this now? I don't fucking think so.
Charlie KIRK was shot from the front, and the bullet.
I mean, it is good that on her side, they're actually admitting to things and maybe trying to stop all of this fucking craziness that's going on with all these side bullets coming from all kinds of crazy, weird angles and just explosives on his microphone and like, what the? So at least maybe that'll stop some of that stupid shit from spreading.
Did
anymore.
not exit.
But I doubt it.
And at least a fragment of the bullet was recovered from his neck. And I'm going to tell you exactly where it was recovered from. I have fact-checked this information from multiple sources now. I've actually been sitting on this for a little bit over a week.
She's been sitting on this for a little bit over a week. A little over a week. Why? For what? Why? I've been sitting on lots of information that I'm strategic. It's chess, motherfuckers, not checkers. What is she talking about?
Right around here. So think about.
Not to mention, who was it? Alex Jones and Steven, whatever, already like divulged this information a week ago. Maybe that's the stuff Candace is talking about that she's been sitting on that people have already put out.
Almost in line with your shoulder blade right in the center. Now, why is that helpful? Because it gives us a bullet trajectory, okay?
It doesn't give a bullet trajectory at all. It does not give a bullet trajectory, okay? Here's the deal with bullets. Depending on how fast they're going, the velocity of the bullet dictates what happens when they hit any type of tissue or objects or whatever. We don't know a bullet trajectory once it impacts. As soon as that bullet comes in contact with something else, the trajectory of that bullet is not a guarantee anymore in any way, shape, or form. If you shoot a bullet and it hits a tree branch, you can no longer predict where that bullet is going to go. So no, you cannot predict what that bullet does inside of Charlie KIRK once it hits him. Anybody claiming that they can tell you what the trajectory of that bullet is doing inside of Charlie KIRK's body, don't listen to them. They are not an expert. Matt Tardio, broke this down. I wish I could break it down as well as he did. So I'll probably link that video again and keep referencing that video because Matt Tardio explains how many different variables are at play here when it comes to this bullet and Charlie's neck. Variables at anybody who gets shot. There are so many different variables and there are so many unknowns.
Went in here where you saw that and it was stopped and a fragment.
And it's frustrating for me to be smart enough to understand it, but not be smart enough to articulate it. Yeah. Anybody else have that problem?
Was pulled from, if you're just touching your spine in line with your shoulder blade. That leads us obviously to the part that he's.
And just for the record, I've been screaming since day one about the fact that we have no idea what ammo is in that gun. And that depending on how, you know what I mean? Depending on all those variables, we're not going to be able to tell you exactly what happened. And by we, I mean experts. Experts are not going to be able to tell you, no, the 30-06 is definitely got to blow the neck out. The 30-06 is definitely going to take his head off. Matt Tardio video explains it. Links in the description. Go look at it. I'm tired of arguing this same point over and over and over again.
Maybe not being forth.
Which is going to bring me to my next argument on this whole 30-06. It wasn't a 30-06 thing, which we're going to get to in a second.
Coming about.
This one's fun.
They did not recover a bullet from a 30-06.
Oh, they didn't recover. They didn't recover a bullet from a 30-06. Candace says it. It's true. Candace says it. It's absolutely true. They didn't recover a bullet from a 30-06.
A bullet from a 30-06 just didn't happen. Okay.
Didn't happen.
They had found a 30-06 bullet. Charlie's death certificate certainly would have reflected that.
I don't know if that would be on the death certificate, Candace. I think that would be on the autopsy report. I don't know if they put specific information like that on death certificates. I think the death certificate just states that a person died at whatever time, confirmed death, and from a gunshot wound or from whatever the cause of death was. I don't know how specific they get with death reports. I think that's what autopsy reports are for. Pretty sure. So she's 100% sure they did not recover a bullet from a 30-06.
From a 30-06.
Nope, they didn't.
Hunters and military men rejoice. It turns out
Hunters and military men rejoice. Which hunters and military men are rejoicing from this stupid claim that you're making? Not the smart ones.
that common sense still rules the roost, okay? You guys were right.
Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the common sense, okay? Let's talk about common sense. So, what these conspiracy theorists want people like me and most of you who watch this to believe is that some entity, right, planned this entire thing out. They have control of the FBI. They have control of maybe some other intelligence agencies. They have control of the medical examiner there in Utah. They have control of the Utah authorities. They have control of Charlie's friends. They have control of the witnesses that were there. They have control of all of these people. They have control of Tyler Robinson. They've created this MK Ultra Patsy to just be activated and move on a whim whenever they call, right? So they have all of this stuff. They've got all their T's crossed and their I's dotted, but they fuck up and they use a rifle as the alleged weapon, and they don't match it with what actually they shoot Charlie Kirk with. That seems like a pretty big fucking screw up to me, don't you think? For this well-planned and well-thought-out conspiracy. That's a pretty big detail to just kind of fluff off on, don't you think? So that's what you want me to believe. You want me to believe that there's this grand conspiracy and that they can't get the gun and the bullet right? I'm willing to listen to anybody that believes Tyler Robinson is not the shooter. I will absolutely listen to anything that you say, trying to explain how this grand conspiracy makes that big of a mistake. Let me just stop you before you try to reply and defend that. You can't, because it's retarded.
Had a lot of density. What are we to make of that? He was shot with a completely different kind of gun, obviously.
Oh, obviously. He was obviously shot with a completely different kind of gun. Oh my God. This is so entertaining to me to just see the amount of, like I called them Candace's band of misfit retards who are just going to eat this up and run with this. What else did she go on to say in this video? I forget. There was another point that I wanted to make as something just stupid she says. It'll come to me. Just give me a second.
Exploding.
Oh, that's right. She makes a point that we need to be looking for a second shooter now because they were also able to simultaneously shoot two things and make it sound like one. They were that coordinated, that fucking coordinated to be able to shoot from one area, one firearm, and a different area, another firearm, and make it sound like one shot. They were that coordinated, but they couldn't make the rifle and the bullet match up. Now it's one gunshot in the video. There's one shot. It's pretty clear that there's one shot in the video. Here, I don't want to play that one. I'm going to play a different one. One that has that faded out. Here we go. One shot. Let's go back to the video I played before. One shot. Pretty clear. Ready? Listen. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of a single gunshot. But you know that. If you're watching me, if you're subscribed to my channel, you're not an idiot. You know that's one shot, and that's all we hear is one shot. But now Candace has people looking for 2 shooters that shot simultaneously. This elaborate plan, man, to have 2 shooters shoot simultaneously, and the rifle is to cover up the noise from the. That's not how gunshots work. That's not how sound and reverb. That's not how that works, Candace. They were able to set up 2 shooters and both suck at shooting. Both miss and hit him in the fucking neck. That's like, I don't know how many experts you need to hear say that that's a bad shot. He obviously did not hit what he was aiming at. Nobody aims for the neck. So take that in consideration too. Not only do they have, they can't line up the rifle with the bullet apparently, but they also can't aim for shit either. This elaborate plan with 2 shooters, can't aim for shit, and can't match up the bullet to the rifle that they're going to blame the shooting on. I am fucking so ready for the weekend. These people hurt my brain. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.